lot of controversy behind this. And the reason why we put it right out here and said, look at this. There's a pentagram. But why don't you read? When we're telling these you know, religious fanatics, read this. Shout at the devil. It doesn't say shout with the devil. It's at the devil.
It all seems like such ancient history now, but you know, with the pentagrams and the devil worship and all this stuff, where the hell did that come from?
You know, that's just kind of like, that was just us back then, you know, and we were getting a lot of attention from it, you know, and when you're first starting out, you need something to get you a lot of attention. But we were like, you know, back in the Shout the Devil days, you know, we were just like, we tried to be, we were just like heavy, you know, heavy.
Is like the armpit of the world or something. It was just the worst place. We lived in this little tiny place that kind of looked like this.
No one would sign us. Nobody. They wanted us to cut our hair and play like nice little pop songs.
We only made $20 a week. That's all we got. And it came like Christmas time and Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So we never had money to buy a Christmas tree or a turkey for Thanksgiving, so we'd go down to the store and I'd wear a big jacket, and Vince and Nikki and Mick would stuff my jacket underneath with turkey pot pies. I mean, we couldn't even get it together enough to steal a turkey.
We put out our own album. It cost $7,000 to make the album, and we played club gigs to get the money.
Some girls bought us a Christmas tree because we couldn't afford one, and we had a beer can on the top for a star, you know, and little panties and stuff just all draped around it to make it look something like a Christmas tree. We
built 2 big drum risers and 2 large amp screens, and everything was oversized and animated, and we'd go into clubs where they were used to having these bands play that would have like a little Fender Princeton and a little tiny bass amp, and they would just stand there and play. We'd go in and trash the place.
Cockroaches, TV dinners all over the place. Just a toilet, man. It was wild. But you know what? I kind of miss that once in a while.
We were getting the punk fans. And punk fans were just into the aggression, you know, and then, like, as you see now, you know, punk has sort of turned into speed metal. You know, and I think we've grown away from that. I think our attitude's the same, but musically we were more like a Rolling Stones influence type band.
We lived right up the street from the Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset, and when we'd go down and play, and we'd, you know, there'd be like 500 people there, and Vince would get on the microphone and invite everybody to our house after the show. So there'd be like 500 people in the tiniest little apartment, and everybody's like this, oh, this is great, all right, what a party, all right, this is great. Pretty wild times, man. People got launched through windows. I mean, just, I could go on for hours and run out of tape.
Welcome. Hey, Vince.
How you doing?
Tommy.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to tonight's show. How are you? Those are your fabulous fans out there outside the Tonight Show set. How do you like our lovely cable set here for you that we set up?
Great, man.
Yeah. We're afraid that every artist that ever comes in here is going to demand that they have this set from this point forward.
Nice desk.
So, is it beautiful?
Nice desk,
Would you guys like a pencil to play with just to get yourself in the mood? Yeah. Here, have yourself a pencil. It's all part of the mood. All right.
Head left.
The outrageous edge of rock and roll has shifted its focus from Elvis's pelvis to the saw protruding from Blackie Lawless's codpiece on a Wasp album.
Ms. Gore claimed that one of my songs, Under the Blade, had lyrics encouraging sadomasochism, bondage, and rape. The lyrics she quoted have absolutely nothing to do with these topics. On the contrary, The words in question are about surgery and the fear that it instills in people. As the creator of Under the Blade, I can say categorically that the only sadomasochism, bondage, and rape in this song is in the mind of Ms. Gore.
This is Motley Crue. Their albums for Electra Asylum sell millions, and they're one of the top 10 grossing concert bands this year. Their albums include songs like Bastard, quote, out goes the light, in goes my knife, pull out his life, consider that bastard dead. Live Wire, quote, I'll either break her face or take down her legs, get my ways at will. Go for the throat, never let loose, going in for the kill. And Too Young to Fall in Love. Not a woman, but a whore. I can taste the hate. Well, now I'm killing you. Watch your face turning blue.
I think that we make our videos for kids, and we're just big kids, and we don't really give a hell what parents and politicians and stuff think. You know, we're not going to change our outlook on life in the way that we, you know, play our rock and roll for a bunch of politicians and people like that. I mean, real life is about sex and violence, so why shouldn't we, you know, put down a video? There's a lot of controversy behind this, and the reason why we put it right out here and we said, look at this. There's a pentagram. But why don't you read? When we're telling these you know, religious fanatics, read this. Shout at the devil. It doesn't say shout with the devil. It's at the devil. And that's why we put the pentagram right on the front.
And a lot of things, if you stand in the middle of it, the evil can't get into you. Right. So it's actually a good symbol.
It all seems like such ancient history now, but you know, with the pentagrams and the devil worship and all this stuff, where the hell did that come from?
You know, that's just kind of like, that was just us back then, you know, and we were getting a lot of attention from it, you know? And when you're first starting out, you need something to get you a lot of attention. But we were like, you know, back in the Shout the Devil days, you know, we were just like, we were just like heavy, you know, heavy.
This video, our video, Looks at Kill, is just like our stage show. You know, we burned out city level, lots of pyro, you know, flashing, blowing up, you know, with all these girls.
Right. And it's the whole concept of Shout at the Devil. And our concept behind that is that the devil may not, or isn't to us. I mean, we're not religious in the sense of devil worshippers or Christians or Catholics or anything like that. We're just a rock and roll band, right? Devil could be to a 16-year-old girl, her mother, or to a 21-year-old guy could be his boss. We're saying shout at whatever is holding you back from what you want to do.
Keep changing, so we'd like to see how they would be on stage, what image they would keep. Would they keep their glamour or the other way, the streetwise?
Do you think the popularity of Motley Crue has something to do with what they look like?
No way.
It's the music. It's definitely the music. So if they were really ugly guys with pimples, then they'd still be cool because they play great music?
No!
And what's so good about Motley Crue?
They're the best.
Why?
They're the best. Completely.
The power?
The power, the music, man. We're all the way behind them.
And what are you doing here at the show?
Well, I'm experiencing the thrill of a lifetime. How's that?
You've always wanted to see Motley Crue and your daughters wouldn't let you?
Oh, no. It's because of her that I'm here, really. I thought maybe this is an experience, and it's a little bit terrifying, too, I must say.
But you haven't even seen the show yet.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to get in there. Why did you want to bring your mom down? She's cool.
Our attitudes and our whole frame of mind comes more from a band like the Sex Pistols, a punk band. We were like punk type of an attitude. You know, I don't give a f what anybody thinks about us. We just do what we want to do.
Today I'm watching the video for Smoking in the Boys' Room.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, do you guys ever look back on that stuff and just kind of go like this?
Like what were we doing? Especially with, well, that whole Theater of Pain era for us was kind of like, we look back at that and go, man, what were we thinking of? But, you know, a couple good songs came out of it, you know. I mean, Home Sweet Home was like, you know, it was like a classic.
It's you, dude.
Yo, I'm on my way.
Phone for you, Mr. Moss.
I'm on my way.
Wow, man, like this.
I'm on my way.
And, average day would be, we'd get up 2 o'clock or whatever, you know, get up and do some interviews, and then we go to the hall, you know, get sound check, make sure the set's right. And by then it's, you know, time for wine tea to go on. The band is with us on tour. And
time for us to drink.
Time for us to drink. And
prepare for the show.
And then, yeah, it takes us like an hour to get ready, so there's more time to drink. We have a good time.
I can't wait to drink some Canadian beer, by the way.
Oh, it's very good. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. It looks like we caught you at a good time of the day, though. I'm seeing clear eyes and you know, a reasonably lucid performance
here. A couple hours from now, this won't be possible.
Later it'll be another story altogether.
It's like everybody's dream.
Everyone's fantasy.
Everyone's fantasy, exactly.
It's just so funny. It's like we always kid around. We go, it's our reality. Everybody else's fantasy.
What a way to make a living.
Someone's got to do it.
Hey, man, somebody's got to snort it. Somebody's got to drink it. Somebody's got to go to bed with all these girls. It's a hard life. But, you know, as long as I get paid for it, I'll do it. I mean, come on.
After Vince's misfortune, we obviously came together and helped the cat out, you know, and became like closer as friends as well as band members.
We've always been tight, and that just helped to, you know, make it tighter. Thing is, I'd been in a bad car accident, and so had Tommy previous to that, and we were both very drunk when it happened. And then it happened to Vince, who wasn't nearly, you know, under the influence as us, and we all said, you know, this could have happened to me, or it could happen to Tommy, or Mick, or any of our friends, and it's something that we said, you know, it's time to, like, straighten up about that. You know, about drinking and driving at the same time. You know, drink if you want, great, but don't drive. And so it made us tighter. And hopefully you made it aware through our record of helping some kids out to realize that too.
As long as they print a picture or spell our name right, it doesn't matter what they say about us.
Because we don't care.
You must care sometimes.
No, we don't.
No?
You're talking to a couple of guys from a band who gets shitty reviews every single time. So nothing matters to us. And the next up we go, all right, there's a good picture of us.
Yeah.
We throw it away. I would never read it. Who cares?
You know, as long as people talk about you, you know that you're causing, you know, they're thinking about you.
Yeah.
If they're not writing about you, then nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if your records start getting rated, and they're given X ratings or sex ratings, whatever you end up getting? Is it going to help? Is it in a sense that you think more people will suddenly buy the records? It's like forbidden fruit, you know? Well, you shouldn't buy that record. Well, I'm going to go out and buy it, you know?
Ours gets like a XXX rating, because if I went to a record store, I would definitely buy the XXX record over the X record.
Now I hear they're going to try and rate concerts, like the movie,
with
like PG, X, you know, R, and you know, if you get an R-rated concert, they won't let in, you know, fans 18 years or younger.
So if they're rating, what's the Dr. Feelgood show like?
It's
not quite an X.
Oh, it's R-ish. You know, it's in your R category, I think.
You know, I don't want to die. I mean, I don't think your fans would want you to die either, because if one of us dies, then there's no more Crue, you know? And we've always made a pact that if one of us left or died or whatever, that's it, man, it's over, no more. And if we continued like we were continuing, it wasn't going to happen. You know, somebody was going to die. And it's weird because, I mean, at any moment, I could totally snap, you know? I mean, I could just go off into the deep end. So, you know, when people ask me to do like anti this spots or anti that, you know. It's like, hey, man, I'm human, you know. I see somebody partying, and believe me, like every day of my life, it's like a fight. And I'm like, God, I want, you know, want to drink, you know, I want to party, I want to, you know, do things. So like, it's difficult, you know. This is like probably the hardest thing that I've ever done.
Where Nikki said that, it was either you or Nikki said that what's replaced drugs is the sex. And is this true?
I think Mick said that.
Was it Mick?
You know, we just, God, I don't know, man, we just have a good time, you know. We always try to find a good time wherever we go, and that's what replaces drugs, is, you know, is just, you know, having a laugh, having a good time, and hanging out with cool people. And that's, you know, that's it.
I really got into it and still into, not as much as I'd like to be, but lifting weights and running a lot, and it became sort of like my drug. I mean, I used to spend like 2 to 4 hours a day in the gym, and I was just like a fanatic. When we started the tour, I was like in fine condition, and as the tour's gone, I've gotten a little bit lazier and stuff. When this tour's over, I'm going to be taking boxing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I get
so the exercise.
the exercise and not really the ability to defend myself. Well, that's not something I'm really that interested in. It's more, you know, being pushed, seeing how far I can push my mind and my body.
Challenge.
A challenge, yeah.
Trying to record an album in Los Angeles is like, you work for a couple hours, then all of a sudden your friends drop by, and it's like, hey man, listen to this.
Let's
and you play
party.
everything back, and then everyone's all, hey, and then, you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you haven't done anything. You know, in Vancouver, we don't know anybody.
Now we know everybody.
Now
we can't go back.
Yeah. Have to go to Cleveland or something. Yeah. When we started out, I don't think really, you know, not very many people really go, I want to be a rock star for you know, for a living, you know. Gee, Dad, you know, I mean, and really think it's serious. You know, what happens is it just kind of sneaks up on you. You know, I mean, you're playing clubs, and all of a sudden you're headlining on a weekend, and that's a plateau. You know, then you're opening up at a 3,000-seater, and there's another one. Then you're headlining that 3,000-seater. Then you're opening up at a 15,000-seater, and then you get on a tour, and then all of a sudden you're headlining those shows, and then all of a sudden people go, you made it. You know, go, well, wait a second, wait a minute, what happened here? Okay, how did I get from here to here?
What we came from was, you know, struggling, and I still feel like we're struggling to do something different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've peaked out yet. I really don't think Dr. Feelgood's it.
When we recorded the Dr. Feelgood album, we felt like it was our first album again, you know, and you know, when it starts feeling like it isn't spontaneous anymore, then we'll get out of the business. But just the way that the way things are going right now, you know, I just can't see that happening.
Why do you feel like it was your first album?
Well, you know, because we changed a bit. You know, we've wisened up a little bit, and we've pretty much got ourselves together. You know, and you know, we're so tight as a band, which is really rare. You know, in rock and roll. You know, I mean, the 4 of us are like the best of friends, and we have a blast together. And I mean, after 10 years, that's pretty rare. The other day, these kids came over to my house. They're like 8 years old, and they had like, you know, Motley T-shirts on and their school books and stuff, and you know, they're all, Motley Crue, man. And I'm thinking, these guys weren't even born when we put out our first record.
That's right.
You know, and there's no way they could have heard our first record. So, you know, I think from Girls, Girls, Girls on, we've like captured a new crowd. I think, you know, I don't know, but I mean, you know, or they've got it from their older brothers and stuff, and because the name Motley Crue has been around for a long time.
You talked about in the next album for '93.
maybe next out.
Yeah, probably late 92.
And is it going to be like more heavy or more?
No ballads.
No ballads.
I mean, we don't want anything to do with ballads. We've exhausted our, abilities to write ballads. I sort of feel like we need to rebel against what every band is doing right now. It seems like you come out with a rocker and the second video is a ballad, and we just don't.
Seems too easy, maybe.
It seems too easy. Yeah, I want to go against the grain. So the next album after Decadence is going to be very raw, the rawest we've ever done.
You think you're going to hire Bob Rock as a producer
Without a doubt.
Yeah?
He's the best.
Remember the Cream quote that came out, what was it, 85, March 85, a reviewer in Cream said,
I don't remember.
In the months, it said, in 18 months, there won't be 20 teenagers left in America who'd be caught dead listening to Motley Crue, quote unquote.
And now there's not 20, but it's like 20 million.
We really don't think we've made it yet. We don't think we're a big band. Sometimes we wonder if anybody's going to show up at the gigs, And then other times we'll joke around and we'll say, if we were as big as the Rolling Stones, we would still get no respect. And we mean like people will come into the dressing room and like they're not supposed to be in there, and we'll say no one comes in the dressing room, and just these things like you live on the road. This is your home backstage. So we kept going on stage. We'd come off stage. All the food was eaten. Everything. I mean, that's like our dinner, We don't eat before we go on stage. We come back, we look at the chicken. There's like just bones. Everything's gone. Everything's empty. Everything's drank. There's beers everywhere. Everyone came in and had a party while we were on stage. We go. So we got really pissed off finally one day, and we sort of, I don't know if I could say, pooped in the soup and peed on the chicken and blew our nose and everything. And then we said, hey, you guys are welcome to come in and have dinner on us, since you're going to anyway. And we were going, I don't know, man, the guys were being too nice. They could see it in our eyes. We were up to no good. So the rumors started, and they're going, oh, man, don't go in there. No one would go in our room. So now no one will go in our room and eat because they're not sure.
We just want to keep going. We don't see really any end. Nobody in the band is going, oh God, I'm 29 years old and geez, maybe I should retire by the time I'm 40. No one's saying that stuff. Everybody wants to just keep going, and we want to be like the Stones, and just endless, just always there and always putting out good music. I mean, that's what we are. We're rockers,
I hope you enjoyed a decade of Decadence with Motley Crue, a special, very special Power Hour special. And we've got all these fabulous gifts to give away. We've got 3 grand prizes, and it's kind of like a grand prize cachet, or a booty, as it were. Complete CD selections. You got close-ups now, Tim? Featuring Too Fast for Love, Shout the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood. Plus, you get the Without You picture disc, and I'm going to throw in, at no extra cost to myself, the Motley Crue t-shirt. We got 3 of these grand prizes. We also have 5 runner-up prizes, and the runner-up, this isn't bad to win. I'm telling you, that's pretty excellent. Who's got this? Doesn't matter. Have I screwed this whole thing up? We got 5 of these to give away for secondary prizes, which to me is as good as the first prize. Now, to win, here's what you got to do. Now, if you're paying attention to the special, get these VCRs working. When the band started out, they lived down the street from a famous L.A. club, a club they frequently played at. What was the name of that club? Send your answers to Motley Crue, care of the Pepsi Power Hour, 299 Queen Street West, Toronto, Ontario, M5B 2Z5. Shall I recap the prizes, Terry? The grand prize features, are you ready for this? You get the Without You, the Without You disc. That is the disc. That's what you get. You get this Too Fast for Love. You get that. You get Shout at the Devil, a good thing to do. You get Theater of Pain. You get my absolute fave, Girls, Girls, Girls. And you get Bob Rock's fave, Dr. Feelgood. Plus you get the t-shirt, you get the disc, as I said. We're giving a bunch of those away, 3 of those, plus the 5 runner-up prizes. Just send them in to Motley Crue. I'm gonna here. Next week, special guest host, Extreme from Boston. See you next week. No, I won't. 2 weeks.